about my history in Dota, the easiest, it's not one moment, it's more like the whole time I had with SK, when I played for SK Gaming, when I played with the old lineup, when it was me, Bogdan, Ake, Quom, and Dresh. We switched players every now. We switched like one player every now and then, but it was more about when it was me, Bogdan, Ake, those three players. We won a lot of tournaments. We won, I don't know, a couple of DreamHacks, and we won the ESWC in Paris and a couple of tournaments like that. And it's not one match in particular or so, but it's more about that era, because we came from kind of nowhere and became one of the best teams, or the best team at the point of time. No. I was always waiting for the big Dota tournaments. Unluckily, last year I had already quit the game when the international was announced, so it was kind of bad luck there. But no, I couldn't believe it, especially not believing moving to Singapore, playing with Zenith. That was probably, I would believe there was no chance at all, but strange things happen, so I'm happy to be here. I've been here since late May, the end of May, and well, I'm still adjusting to some things. The heat, one of the things, is quite annoying, but maybe it took like one and a half months to get used to like the people, the food, the different kind of culture. I mean, Singapore is a bit like Sweden. If you mix like Sweden with an Asian country, you have Singapore. People find the same things interesting and like to do the same things. So it wasn't very hard. So yeah, maybe about 1.5 months to get used to it, but still, it's gonna be a while until Singapore really feels like home. Well, both yes and no. Because at one point in CLG, I moved from being the captain to being taking on more of a passive role. I decided by myself to take more of a passive role because I wanted to let Pycat fully be able to work as captain. And sometimes it's hard for a team when you have two strong personalities, like trying to pull the team in different directions and so on. And then I started to get the idea of leaving the team. And then I really wanted to be with my girlfriend. So after I had spoken to HY, after I left CLG, and luckily they had just lost one player, so everything was perfect in that moment. Kinda like the chances for that happening was very, very slim, but still, since my girlfriend knows HY in real life since before for many years, it was very easy for me to talk to him, and we spoke to each other for a while, and we realized we share the same goal about dedication to the team, how far we want to go, how serious we want to be, how much we want to practice, and like just putting all our effort into the team, always thinking about the team and like putting ourselves like somewhere on the back. You know, it's always going to be the team, and if I had some issues when I was going to join the team, we would work through it and make it work, you know. So yeah, that's how it is. It was both. It was like 50-50. I mean, I wouldn't have moved to Singapore if it wasn't for my for the option to play for Zenith. But still, the option to move to Singapore would never be there if my girlfriend wasn't living here, so it goes hand in hand. Yeah, there's always one country, like rather one event that I never forget. But it's mostly because it was a very nice trip. Like when I was playing for SK Gaming, we went to South Africa. I think it was like the Olympic Committee or something of South Africa that brought us there because the scene in South Africa for Dota was very small, obviously. And they wanted to bring us there to make us play against one of their teams, see how good they were, and like I think all of it was kind of a PR thing to get esports into the Olympic Games, one of those things. And we only played like one small tournament, and the opponents were not that good, so we didn't really have to practice so much. And they just ended up being really nice. They showed us around like to a lot of like safaris and tons of good restaurants and really nice clubs and stuff like that. So that's probably the country I remember the most. Not for the serious competition, but for the trip in itself. It was very worthwhile. Well, in this particular game, there's an easy explanation, and that is Ice was the one picking. You know, sometimes we keep switching the picker of the team. Sometimes HY doesn't have any new ideas, or someone in particular has a strategy or a way of picking that they want to try out. This time, Ice was the one picking, and we were actually not even on Skype or anything. We were just talking in game, and I was like, Ice, are you here? And the admins kept writing me like, is everything okay? Do we need to remake? And I was like, no, it's fine. It's just Ice. We tried doing stuff like this before, like maybe not banning at all, but we just ban retarded heroes that won't affect the game, because it just opens up the pool and it plays mind games with the opponents. So Ice just said, trust me guys, and we trusted him. We always trust each other, so we ended up leaving quite a few really strong heroes. Like normally I would never like to see a team get Furion, Lycan and Shen, but we got a few good heroes of our own, so it ended up working out well. So I don't know, the reason why we did it was because of Ice, I would say. Well, it actually worked out easier than I thought. Like, we have different ways of viewing things sometimes when it comes to picking, and we have occasional arguments, but we never actually had any big issues. Like, it's very casual, and we just talk about stuff like adults. We're just very serious about it, and he kicked me out of tournaments later on as well, so I don't think it's very weird. It's just, I guess we both have a lot of respect for each other, and we both know that we're both really good players, good captains, and we have a lot of experience, so it's quite easy to respect someone that has beaten you before. So it's just a good thing, I would say. Well, usually, like officially, HY is gonna be the one picking. That's less 100% sure. It's up to him if he has a plan by himself. We will always give him ideas of what we think is a good pickup or a good ban. Like, we all analyze opponents in different ways, and For example, if I've been watching a lot of our opponents' replays, or Calvin has been doing it to Freedom, we will tell HY like they like these heroes, maybe you should remove them, and so on. But it's always up to HY. The reason we switch the picker right now is because actually in our official games, that's the point where we get the best way of practicing. Like normally we have quite a hard time keeping the focus on when we scrim other teams. We can't really focus the same way or be as serious as we are when we play official games, and that's why we try out quite a few different things right now. But when it comes to the picks, it's up to HY pretty much. We trust him, and if he has any doubts about the picks, he will ask us about ideas, and we are always ready to help him out. It's quite funny because I think I was the one that started the whole discussion when it came to TI2. I mean, I don't know if HY said it, but coaches are not going to be allowed in the booths at TI2. And I actually started that discussion with IceFrog when I was still in CLG, because the thing is, there's both good things about letting teams have coaches, and there's bad things. Like, you can't really use the comparison that, yeah, but big sports have coaches, and that's why esports should have it as well. Like, when it comes to having a sixth player that can watch the game, they can call misses, they can call roach timing. I mean, it removes some of the skill that the players are supposed to have, in my opinion. That's what I feel. I think it makes the game a bit easier for them, and it is easier to play a game where someone always tells you what to do. If someone tells you to go back because people are missing, people tell you to push together, you know, the team play doesn't really have to be as good, and I find it to be like, I don't really feel the coach to be a fair thing to have in Dota right now. Sure, if everyone, like, in a perfect world, every team would be able to have a ex pro Dota player that would work as a coach and be able to take the job serious, and he would get a salary, and then the game would be at a different level. But it's not like that right now. There's a few teams that have a really good coach, and then there's other teams that them would just have to like find a person that would be able to put the time into the game to support the team and help the team out, and that just doesn't make it fair. For example, some years ago in ESWC in Paris, I think it was 2010, when eHome won it, they had DC as a coach, and DC is a former, like, one of the best players in China, and it was quite obvious when you watched them play who was controlling the team. And in my opinion, I was quite angry when I saw them play and saw how he interacted with the game. I found it to be very unfair. And if everyone could have a player or a coach like DC, then sure, then it should be allowed. But until then, I think it's not the way Dota is meant to be. In Sweden, I'm studying actually. I had to take, we have summer break right now, but I had to skip one course because there was still 1 month left on uni. But I'm studying, but I haven't really decided if I will continue with the studies this fall or not. It depends on how TI2 goes, of course, but right now I have all the time in the world to focus on Dota, and that was my plan for going to TI2. I want to be able to focus on the team and the game 100% and just give it all I got. So I go to the tournament and I won't regret anything that I won't be there and feel that, yeah, I could have done more. I could have played more, or I could have practiced more and stuff like that. So right now I can be here and just do what I love as much as I want. Well, the international is a very scary tournament. I have to say, the skill level compared from the last international to this year's the skill gap is like huge. This year's international has so many good teams that has been practicing for like half a year for just this one tournament. They have been preparing individually as a team. They've been analyzing each other. I mean, the last international, some teams had 1 week to prepare. Some teams had 2 weeks, 1 month. I mean, the difference was just huge. This year, everyone has been ready to prepare, and everyone will give it their all. And it's always scary with a big tournament like this, because even if I feel we have good chances with Zenith, that we're a strong team, not only skill-wise, but how we play and how versatile we are, there's still the possibility that a team will win games just because they have a pocket strat. You know, they have a strategy that they bring into the tournament. Maybe the strategy will only work once, but it can still win a game, and one game can decide a lot in a tournament like this. So it's gonna be scary, but I'm confident about the tournament, and overall it just feels like the World Cup pretty much. I had to change quite completely, actually, and it's been quite hard in some ways. I'm still learning how to be more cautious as a player, playing more defensively and playing more safe. I'm improving. I'm better with some heroes than others. I excel with a few, in my own opinion. But yeah, obviously I had to change my role completely, and I was ready for that, and the team was ready for me to use these months to change my playstyle and become the player the team needs. And I'm confident that at TI2 I will be one of the best off-laners or safe laners there is. So I feel very happy about making the choice to play for Zenith and take on this role. Well, it's always the small things like speaking your own language. After a while, it's very weird not speaking speaking Swedish anymore, like just hanging out with your friends, speaking Swedish, talking shit. I mean, sure, after speaking English for quite a long while now, it's getting more and more natural to me, but there's still some way you interact with your friends. There's some way you use the language, like when you speak a lot of you talk a lot of shit and you make a lot of jokes. Sometimes when it comes to English, I have to translate what I was gonna say to English, and then it doesn't really end up being as funny as I wanted it to be, like when I'm saying it. So I just miss the small things, you know, meeting my family, meeting my friends, speaking Swedish. Other than that, I don't miss the weather. I don't miss. There's a lot of things I don't miss with Sweden. It's quite small. I like big cities, like Singapore. So, as I said, it's the small things: my friends, the language, so on. I don't have any schedule that I've like officially made from this time to this time, but I tend to play a lot, at least about 8 hours a day, but sometimes longer than that. So yeah, I made it as a personal goal that I would play at least 8 hours a day. I mean, of course, some days I play maybe 2 hours, but then the next day maybe I'll play 16 hours. So I do practice a lot, especially since I have had to switch the role. I have to put in not only a lot of games where because every player plays a lot of pubs to like keep the skill up. You try different heroes that maybe you don't play yourself in official games, but it still gives you a lot of information playing these heroes, because then you know exactly how they work, and then when you play against them, you will know exactly in what situation they can do what, and so on. So I have to play more because I also have to put in a lot of games where I only practice the suicide lane or so on. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Yeah, obviously, like, sure, people can see us play and feel that we have great synergy in our recent games, but actually we played against Orange and Aeon online. So like the difference between our synergy when we play online and offline is very big. Like, sure, the picks can work on better when you play online sometimes. That doesn't really affect it so much. I mean, sometimes it can even be harder picking at LAN training, because then HY can't sit there and ignore us because we're sitting next to him like, pick this hero, we need to try this. But the synergy within the team usually works out much better when we practice on LAN, and that helps a lot because TI2 is going to be on LAN, so that's what you practice for. Of course, it makes me practice a lot more. In some situations you practice less and less when you play. Depends on the team, or depends on how much you feel that the tournaments matter or stuff like that. Like, if you only have a couple of online tournaments that has like decent prices and so on, maybe you don't put in as much hours, especially not as a team. Practicing as a team can be quite hard sometimes, and you have to be dedicated, all of you, if you want to be able to make it work and make sure everyone is there to practice as 5 people. So yeah, TI2 gives me a lot of extra energy or focus to become a better player, because for me it's quite easy to slack off sometimes. You know, when you've been in the scene for a very long time, you sometimes feel that you don't have to practice as much as other people, but that's not the truth. Like, you always have to practice a lot to stay on top. Like Dota, or Dota 2 as it is right now, is the competition is very high, and everyone is very serious, so you have to practice as much as you can to be good enough. That's how it is. I would my studies already. I would most likely be in Sweden, working at some boring job that I didn't love. It's very hard to say because I've been into gaming for a long while, and sure, Dota's affected my life, like my decisions in life a lot, but it would probably be completely different. Like, gaming has made me realize that I really want to live my life, you know. I want to do what I feel happy doing, and as long as I can survive doing it, I will do it. Like, if I wouldn't been interested into gaming, I would probably just be a quite normal person. I'd say it's quite close to perfection. There's some things that I get very annoyed by, that there's still some visual bugs when I play, and I know a lot of people have them. Sometimes you can't see the animation of the tower when the tower hits, you know, all these small things that just pisses me off. Like, I'm the guy that gets super pissed when I miss like 1 or 2 or 3 creeps on the lane. I'm like, I can get really annoyed at myself, and especially at the game then if I can't even see the projectiles flying, and I'm like, huh, what's happening? Stuff like that, but it's just some small issues. Maybe I actually feel that you should remove the bottle crow ability, like the ability to just stand on a lane, buy bottle, and keep sending the crow back, refilling it, sending it out, bottling up, sending it back and forth. I really feel that playstyle is rather lame, and it doesn't really take so much skill to do it. But I mean, it's not something they're gonna change. That's how they want the game to be. That's just a personal opinion. I find it to be, and I don't really blame people that use it. I mean, we use it as well because you can. And you should always get all the advantages you can. But other than that, I always wished that they would add Centaur Brad Warden. It's one of the heroes, but I'm quite sure they won't add it before the TI2, so not much. To my fans, I don't know. I just hope you will keep supporting me. I have a lot of dedicated fans from a lot of different parts of the world. Special shout out to all my Chinese fans, because you've always been dedicated and loved me for the arrogant son of a bitch I've always been. I just hope you guys will find our team interesting and keep cheering for us at the TI2, whatever happens.